that when they had come to the house, they found the young child with his mother. They found the young child with his mother. You know, the most important thing about Christmas is not the decorations, it's not the gifts. It's about finding Jesus, isn't it? Jesus is what the Christmas season is all about. And the fact that he was born in a manger to die upon the cross for our sins. I want to conclude with this story this afternoon. I don't know if it's a true story or not. I don't know who the author is. I do know that it circulated on Facebook this past week, but I heard it long before that. But what a lesson it holds for each one of us on Christmas Day. And it's entitled The Missing Jesus. I just want to share this story with you in case you have not heard it or seen it. About a week before Christmas, the family bought a new nativity scene. And when they unpacked it, they found two figures of the baby Jesus, two of those little figurines there. Well, someone must have packed this wrong, the mother said, counting out the figures. We have one Joseph, we have one Mary, 3 wise men, 3 shepherds, 2 lambs, a donkey, a cow, an angel, and 2 babies. Oh dear. I suppose some set left down at the store now is missing a baby Jesus, because we have 2. Well, you 2 run back down to the store now and tell the manager that we have an extra Jesus. Tell him to put a sign on the remaining boxes saying that if a set is missing a baby Jesus, call 7126. So go on now, put on your warm coats. It's freezing cold out there, Mom said. The manager of the store copied down Mother's message, and the next time that they were in the store, sure enough, they saw the cardboard sign that read, if you're missing baby Jesus, call 7126. All week long, they waited for someone to call. Surely, they thought, someone was missing that important part of the nativity. And each time the phone rang, Mother would say, I'll bet that's about Jesus. But it never was. Father tried to explain there are thousands of these scattered over the country, and the figurine could be missing from a set in any one of the states. Those packing mistakes happen all the time. So he suggested just putting the extra Jesus back in the box and forget about it. Now the children said, what a terrible thing to do with Jesus, putting him back in the box. Surely someone will call, Mother said. So we will just keep the 2 of them together in the manger until someone calls. And so when no one had come by 5 o'clock on Christmas Eve, Mother insisted that Father just run down to the store to see if there were any sets left. You can see them right through the window, she said, over on the counter. And if they are all gone, I'll know someone is bound to call tonight. Run down to the store, Father replied. It's 15 below zero out there. Oh, Daddy, we'll go with you, Tommy and Mary said as they began to put their coats on. Father gave a long sigh, and he headed for the front closet. I can't believe I'm doing this, he muttered. Tommy and Mary ran ahead of Father as he reluctantly walked out in the cold. Mary got to the store first and pressed her nose up to the store window. They're all gone, Daddy, she shouted. Every set must be sold. Hooray, Tommy said. The mystery will now be solved tonight. Father heard the news still a half block away and immediately turned on his heel and headed back home. But when they got back into the house, they noticed that Mother was gone. And so was the extra baby Jesus figurine. Well, someone must have called, and she went out to deliver the figurine, my father reasoned, putting off his boots. You kids get ready for bed now while I wrap Mother's present. And then the phone rang. And Father yelled, answer the phone, tell him we found a home for Jesus. But it was Mother, and she was calling with instructions for us to come to 205 Chestnut Street immediately and bring 3 blankets, a box of cookies, and some milk. Now what has she gotten us into, my father groaned as we bundled up again. 205 Chestnut. Why, that's across town. Wrap that milk up good in the blankets or it will turn to ice before we get there. Why can't we all just get on with Christmas? It's probably 20 below out there now. wind is picking up, of all the crazy things to do on a night like this. Well, when they got to the house at 205 Chestnut Street, it was the darkest one on the block. Only one tiny light burned in the living room. And the moment we set foot on the porch steps, my mother opened the door and shouted, "They're here. Oh, thank God you got them here. Ray, you kids, take those blankets into the living room, wrap up the little ones on the couch. I'll take the milk and the cookies." "Would you mind telling me what's going on, Ethel?" my father asked. "We have just walked through below zero weather with the wind in our faces all the way." "Never mind all of that now," my mother interrupted. "There is no heat in this house, and this young mother is so upset she doesn't know what to do. Her husband walked out on her, and those poor little children will have a very bleak Christmas, so don't you go complaining. I told her that you could fix that oil furnace in a jiffy." My mother strode off to the kitchen to warm the milk, while my brother and I wrapped up the 5 little children who were huddled together on the couch. The children's mother explained to my father that her husband had run off taking the bedding and the clothing and almost every piece of furniture, but she had been doing all right until the furnace broke down. She said, "I've been washing and ironing for people and cleaning." She said, "Well, I saw your number every day while I was in the laundry room on those boxes on the counter. And when the furnace went out, that number kept going through my mind. 7162, 7162, 7162. That's what it said on the box. And if a person is missing Jesus, they should call 7162, 7162. And when I read that, she said, I knew you were good Christian people willing to help folks. And so I figured that maybe you would help me. So I stopped at the grocery store tonight and I called your number. I'm not missing Jesus, mister, because I sure love the Lord. But I am missing heat. And I have no money to fix the furnace. Okay, said Father, you've come to the right place. Now let's see. You've got a little oil burner over there in the dining room. Shouldn't be too hard to fix. Probably just a clogged flue. I'll look it over and see what it needs. Mother came into the living room carrying a plate of cookies and warm milk. And as she set the cups down on the coffee table, I noticed the figure of baby Jesus lying in the center of the table. It was the only sign of Christmas in that house. The children stared wide-eyed with wonder at the plate of cookies my mother set before them. And Father finally got the oil burner working, but said, you need more oil. I'll make a few calls tonight and get some oil. Yes, sir, you came to the right place, Father grinned. And on the way home, Father did not complain about the cold weather and had barely set foot inside the door when he was on the phone. Ed, how are you? Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Say, Ed, we have a kind of an unusual situation here, and I know you've got that pickup truck. Do you still have some oil in that barrel on your truck? You do? By this time, the rest of the family were pulling clothes out of their closets and taking toys off their shelves. It was long after their bedtime when they were wrapping gifts. The pickup came, and on it were chairs and 3 lamps and blankets and gifts. And even though it was 30 below, Father let them ride along in the back of the truck. No one ever did call about the missing figure in the nativity scene. But as I grow older, I realize that it wasn't a packing mistake at all. Jesus saves. That's what he does. Isn't that beautiful? Jesus saves. That's what he does. And that's what Christmas is all about, isn't it? It's all about finding Jesus. It's not about the decorations. It's not about the food that we will share or the gifts we will share. That's the big part of Christmas. But Christmas is about finding Jesus. It's about helping those in need when they reach out. It's about being willing to help those who are less fortunate than we are. It's about reaching out and caring and loving other people. And so let me tell you on this Christmas Sunday, when Christmas Day is past, it isn't over because the gifts are opened. Christmas isn't over when the turkey's all gone. Christmas can be every day, 365 days a year. And so today, on this Christmas Sunday that we celebrate, we give God thanks for past blessings. And as we look ahead, as we anticipate many, many more blessings and opportunities. I pray that we will want to share Christmas with others, not just during Christmas, but every day of the year. I pray that God will continue to bless you and your family during this Christmas season.